The QCY Melobuds Pro have replaced my Pixel Buds Pro. I think that these might be the best value pair of headphones that QCY has made in a while. These headphones are also rebranded and sold for a lot more money by another company, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. First off, the thing that I love about these is the sound quality. I think the sound quality and ANC on these is surprisingly good. Whether or not you are using a custom EQ or just how they come out of the box, there's a ton of bass, ton of sub bass. There's a lot of clarity as well in the sound of these. I'm really surprised by how much punch they have. They sound great with a variety of music, hip hop, rock and roll. They don't sound awesome for singer-songwriter stuff, but you can kind of tweak that in the EQ settings. And the EQ settings do have a pretty noticeable effect. Also, when you do change the EQ, you can uninstall the app and all of those settings will stay synced to these headphones, which is a really, really nice touch. But overall, the sound quality of these is just absolutely stunning. And I think that these sound almost as good as my Pixel Buds Pro, which cost me a ton of money. I no longer have those Pixel Buds. I've been using these, and I don't miss my Pixel Buds Pro other than for some of their very pixel specific features. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the design and the build quality of these headphones, because I actually think that at the $42 that these MSRP at, that is definitely a strong suit. The lid, really, really nice, substantial lid. It is a smart lid, so you can see doesn't move at all. The build quality of this lid is great. There's 2 layers of plastic on the inside. The materials of these feel really, really solid. I mean, for a pair of $42 headphones, these things are really surprising. There is a USB-C port on the bottom. There is a little pairing and repairing button on the bottom as well. On the front, we have a little LED light that indicates whether or not you need to charge them. It isn't a smart case that connects to your phone and shows you how much battery life it has, but that would probably drive the price up. Totally acceptable at this price point. The earbuds themselves, they do kind of have a bit of a generic shape. They remind me of quite a few headphones from Pamu. They've got an oval shaped cutout for the ear so that you can go ahead and fit them in your ear, and it's kind of like a pill shape with a little micro stem and a directional microphone. I think that this is a decent design, although it is a little bit generic. We have 2 types of plastic. We have a glossy plastic on the outside, matte plastic on the inside, and the case itself is a matte plastic, which I really like. There are the charging contacts on the bottom, and the style of these charging contacts gives me confidence that they will last for a while, at least compared to like other styles of charging contacts we've had from other headphones. There is a vent on the top for the speaker unit, and there also is a in-ear detection hole on them, and then there is holes for microphones because each of these headphones has 3 microphones, so 6 microphones total. So the design of these headphones is nice, the material is nice, the sound quality of them is great. 42 decibels of ANC. You're going to have LDAC, which is a bit of a downside for me because LDAC is quite a bloated codec, and it has high data transmission rates, and oftentimes you're just streaming at 330 kilobits per second over LDAC, which is not that much different than aptX or AAC. I have 8.5 hours of battery life with no ANC and the AAC audio codec, 25.5 hours with the case. That is if you are not using LDAC and ANC, 6 or so hours with LDAC and no ANC, and between 5.5 to 6 hours of battery life with LDAC and ANC on these. I've found battery life on these to be totally acceptable. It's pretty good with the case. If you're listening to these with LDAC and ANC, expect roughly 20 hours or so. You also have dual device pairing, but you can't use that dual device pairing and LDAC at the same time. It's going to pair to 2 devices with the AAC audio codec. I really do have to say that I like the multi-point, and I do like the in-ear detection. That's just a thing that I find to be really, really convenient. We also have multiple ANC modes, which allow you to kind of customize how the ANC works. You have an anti-wind mode, which kind of essentially turns ANC off. Overall, like the ANC customizability on these is really, really nice. And while we talk about customizability, one of the features that I do like is the fact that in the QCY app, we have a ton of flexibility to change the control layout. I'm not a gaming person. Gaming mode on headphones is never adequate, especially if you're doing first-person shooters. Media playback with these things is fine, and I'll give you guys a media playback test right now. Wideband, the fact that the Google Find My Device network is still very, very rudimentary and still very, very rough around the edges makes it kind of difficult for me to recommend these. But gaming mode is there for all of your media consumption and low latency needs, I guess you could say. These have 12 millimeter drivers, so these are on the larger side of drivers. That's kind of why I think these headphones sound pretty good. They do have a transparency mode. The transparency mode is fine. I don't think the transparency mode is the greatest thing in the world, but it is there and it does work pretty well. Again, I think the highlight of these headphones in regards to features, really solid battery life, anywhere between 6 to 7 hours, depending upon volume, with ANC and LDAC. Customizability of controls, the ability to change all of the controls for your liking in the app. And I think that they have a really, really good sound. Just overall, these headphones are really surprising at their price point. On the negative, again, I would rather see aptX instead of LDAC as an audio codec. I'm not a big fan of the microphone quality. The microphone quality is fine, but it's not as good as I've heard on other headphones. Again, at this price point, you be the judge.
So this is what the QCY Melobuds Pro sound like in a relatively quiet environment. Parking structure, you hear some motorbikes going by. And let's go ahead and check out and see how they do as we get to the street level where we're going to have cars passing by, possibly a little bit of wind noise. You should hear the sound quality or the audio quality, the mic quality of these change a little bit. I've still used them here and there to take some calls, and I haven't really had any complaints. But how do you think they deal with a busy street here in Hanoi? Here, take a look for yourself and tell me what the audio of these sounds like. I think it's not bad, especially at the price point, especially with all of the other features that these headphones have to offer. But you guys be the judge and comment down below.
Another feature that I find to be really, really nice with them is the responsiveness of the touch controls. We talked about how we can change them. The responsiveness of these is really, really convenient, and it makes using them a pleasure to use. The case feels great, and it just feels like I'm kind of glazing these headphones. Just overall, I think at $42, these things make a solid bargain, especially when QCY, Hailu, and Xiaomi, they're all kind of owned by like the big Xiaomi conglomerate. What that means for you is that the reality is that these headphones were actually sold at a higher price before as the Xiaomi Buds Pro 4. You have the same ANC, you have the same controls, you have the same everything. So buying these from QCY actually means that you're getting the Xiaomi tech, whatever Xiaomi is putting in their headphones, you're actually getting them at a bit of a discount. Xiaomi is the big conglomerate that owns these companies. All of the headphones are made by the same manufacturer in China. And the fact that Xiaomi doesn't offer a native app, or in the last time I used Xiaomi headphones, they don't offer a native app for their headphones, means that you are getting an even better value because you don't have to deal with all of the Xiaomi shenanigans that you would get from picking these up under the Xiaomi brand. So QCY, another banger. These things, I love them. I've been using them every day. I'm gonna order a silicone case for them, and you should as well, just to protect them, keep them from getting scratched and beaten up. And that way they're gonna last me a little bit longer. I usually put cases on all of the headphones that I use every day, and you should too. And I'll have links to where you can buy these on both AliExpress and Amazon all around the world in the description of this video down below.